Rams house, I think it's actually happening. We have on today's show an enormous update on Aaron Donald's potential return to the Los Angeles Rams. That's right. On today's episode of the Rams Report presented by Prize Picks, we are breaking down some breaking Rams news. Obviously, last night, for those of you who have been tuning in to our Myles Garrett and now Aaron Donald as well coverage, we talked about these rumors last night. We talked about the credible reports we've already gotten, and we'll talk about those again on today's show for those who have missed them, plus a brand new one. But this is as big gets, guys. This is as real gets here. I know a lot of you guys last night, you heard my initial report, you heard the sources, and you were like, I get it, but it's just sources at the end of the day. This is from the man himself. Pat McAfee texted Aaron Donald to find out if a comeback is possible after the Myles Garrett trade. Donald's reply, it for sure got me thinking. That's not all he said. He added, this is the full text that he sent to Pat McAfee, which he read on the show. It for sure got me thinking, I've got to see if that fire can light back up. Guys, this might actually be the Rams' defensive line in 2026. Can you believe that? Can you wrap your head around that? That might be the best defense when you consider the secondary we have now in NFL history. No joke, guys. Absolutely no joke. It deserves to be celebrated. It absolutely deserves to be celebrated. And a great way to do it, my friends, is by picking up our brand new Flash t-shirt. We've got brand new merch here on the Rams Report. And I got to say, guys, as much as I love our Heart Snatcher tees, I think they are absolutely awesome. This is my favorite piece of merch we have put out as a company. And I know I'm biased, but I am so excited to get mine. It is on express order right now. Our merch team did a fantastic job. Shout out to Arnold putting this together as fast as he could. And man, as he always does, he knocked it out of the park. So get yours today at the link right there and also in the description and in the comments. It'll be in the pinned comment. And speaking of Myles Garrett, guys, he is a great player to be using in your Prize Picks season-long lineups, my friends. You guys know I love playing on America's #1 sports picks app, the sponsor of today's video, Prize Picks. Guys, if you love daily fantasy sports or you just want to add more excitement to watching sports, you've got to try out Prize Picks. It's a great time to get started on Prize Picks, too, with the NBA playoffs underway and the baseball season in full swing. There's no better place to get in on all that action than with our friends over at Prize Picks. And it's never been easier to play than it is with Prize Picks, guys. All you have to do is pick from 2 to 6 players. You're selecting more or less on their stat projections, whether you're picking from points, assists, rebounds, if you want to get in on the basketball action. If you're going for some of the pro football action, you can pick on their season-long projections from sacks, receiving yards, or rushing yards. That's what I did on my latest lineup involving Myles Garrett, guys. We're going with the more on sacks for Garrett, the more on receiving yards for Puka, and the less on rushing yards for CMC. So you guys can tell me, you can fade me on this lineup. Whatever you do, just do it with our friends over at Prize Picks, who make it super easy to tail or fade with their awesome social features. You guys can drop a follow on my profile, Jackson Durham with no spaces. And if you're brand new to Prize Picks, make sure you use our promo code to download the Prize Picks app today and use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with Prize Picks. Click on the link to download the app. It's in the comments and the description below. As always, thank you to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to our discussion of Aaron Donald's possible return. So last night, we talked about, and I heard directly from Pierce DeLuna, also known as First and Tuna, very prominent Rams content creator, very good Rams content creator who should be even more prominent than he is. Because, again, just go support this guy. Great information from him here. And he directly clarified to me after firing this one out on Twitter. And, of course, as soon as I saw that tweet, I was like, I got to reach out to Pierce because clearly he knows something about this situation, and I want to know whatever he knows. And he was nice enough to share his information. He told us, I was given 0 percentages of the likelihood of a decision, which is, I asked him directly, do you have like a percent chance that you could put on Aaron Donald coming back? So no, but he said, what I was told is exactly this. He is considering returning this year, and family is at the center of that decision making. And again, I understand there were a lot of questions with Pierce's report here. Obviously, a Rams content creator, not a primary source on this information. But if you want primary sources, we have those as well. Last night on the Locked On Rams podcast, Michael Brockers, teammate of Aaron Donald for a number of years, noted very close friend of Aaron Donald and close to the Donald family, told them, and he was laughing while he said this, said he didn't want to give too much away, but he said, I have some knowledge that others might not have. My guy, is staying ready so he doesn't have to get ready. Guys, you got this many people pointing in the same direction. You got this many people kind of telling us the same thing. It feels like it's happening, but I understand the biggest question that keeps getting asked in the comments of every time we talk about Aaron Donald. How can we afford to do this? And I get it. We just traded for Myles Garrett. Is it even possible for this Rams team to sign Aaron Donald at this point? Do they have enough cap space left to do it? Well, my friends, the answer is probably going to surprise you. And we have to start with the answer to another question. How much is Myles Garrett going to cost the Rams? So, not as much as you'd probably expect. For the first 3 years of Myles Garrett's contract, he is on the books for a combined $45 million. Essentially, it's a 3-year, $45 million deal that averages out to $15 million a season. $8 million in 2026, $16 million in 2027, and $21 million in 2028. That then skyrockets to in 2029 and 2030 to nearly $58 million before voiding out in 2031, at which point Garrett will be 36 years old. So when you remember that, hey, the Rams, despite having acquired the NFL's best defensive player, are only on the hook for him for an average of $15 million over the next 3 seasons, the Rams' cap space picture looks like this right now. $19.7 million still left on the books in 2026. $57 million left on the books in 2027. And in 2028 and 2029, you have over $200 million in cap space. So much money, you don't even know what to do with it. That is gargantuan amounts of cash. And maybe it might even end up being more because these 3 numbers are projected numbers, and the NFL cap seems to exceed its projections every single season as the numbers go up and up for this league. So it is likely that the Rams will actually have a little bit more cap space in each of these 3 seasons than the numbers here suggest. So the point is, essentially, the Rams can sign Aaron Donald. That's check number 1. He's not going to cost you $19.7 million for a season at 35 years old. Aaron Donald is a career Ram who I think for the opportunity to win a Super Bowl would come back for very little money. It isn't about money for Aaron Donald. It's about legacy building. It's about further establishing himself as the greatest defensive player that has ever played in the National Football League, something I think he already is. but a second ring does so much for that perception outside of a Rams fan base, outside of us. I mean, we already believe it, I know, but for everybody else who's still holding on to Lawrence Taylor, JJ Watt, whoever else they want to throw out there as the greatest of all time, another ring for Aaron Donald propels him so much in that conversation. But the other thing that it's pretty clear the Rams can do when you look at their future cap here is get some deals done. They still have some enormous extensions to sign, the biggest of which obviously being Puka Nacua. Even with Jared Verse out of the picture, you've got to give money to Puka, Kobie, Byron potentially, Warren potentially, Steve potentially. There's a lot of guys that are going to want their bag. And like we've talked about before, not every single one of them is going to get it in Los Angeles with the Rams. It is the cold reality of making a deal for Myles Garrett is that some of these names who we know and love and have been great contributors to success over the last few seasons and to getting this team back on track after kind of a disaster year in 2022 are going to get paid somewhere else. We have to accept it. But one guy who is absolutely not going anywhere on this list is Puka Nacua. I promise you, they will not let him go. I promise you he will be around for the long haul with this Rams team. I have so much confidence that that will be the case. And it angers me when I see people use the Myles Garrett trade as okay, Puka's finished in Los Angeles. Because I think that is entirely unrelated and entirely unwarranted to say that. It is very clear that the Rams are committed to supporting Puka. It is very clear that the Rams are committed to Puka being a part of the long-term plan, and he will get his money. Again, like we've talked about again and again on this channel, it is only a matter of time. The Rams like to do their extensions in August or early September. The window just isn't really there yet, and there's clearly benchmarks they're looking to see Puka hit. I have no concern about Puka. The Myles Garrett trade does not change anything for Puka, in my opinion. And the cap space element of it absolutely proves it. So I hope this puts your mind at ease. If you were worried about Puka potentially leaving the Rams, it's not going to happen. Puka's going to be here for a very long time. Go ahead and get that 12 jersey. You deserve it, my friend. You absolutely do. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of the Rams Report by Chat Sports. I'm going to see you guys possibly later today, depending on what comes out of the introductory press conference for Myles Garrett. But we've also got another video coming out as well. So 2 videos for you on the Rams Report today. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't miss all the content we've got around this Myles Garrett trade, guys. Such an exciting time to be a Rams fan. I think it pretty much always is, but we're going to be here to cover every minute of it. So we'll see you next time. As always, let's go Rams.